It's week 7, race 11, and the grand finale of Street Fighter. The boys have raced 460 kilometres over the season, and that will be 550 kilometres by the end of this endurance round. Never mind the hours of practice, warm-ups and qualifying. Long Beach was originally run as round 2, but a problem in the pits prevented many of our drivers from being able to refuel, and the race was scratched. That problem has been rectified, and all drivers are excited to give this a proper try this time. Darren has already won the Street Fighter Championship, but Esky is only 6.5 points behind JMazz for second, while SMC is breathing down Poppy's neck for fourth. Box and Gunner are tied for 6th, but are also within sight of the podium. All of the way down the scoreboard, every driver has a battle that must be resolved today at Long Beach. It's an endurance race, pit stops to refuel will be required to make full distance, and it is the last chance to score vital points on the final leaderboard. SMC won last time Street Fighter was here, and this time he's qualified second behind Poppy. Gunner is in third place, while JMazz, Esky and Darren all start at the back. This is going to be hard work for them to work through the entire field, pit stop included, to reach the leaders. As the formation lap rounds the hairpin, the race director cleared Poppy that he could now set the race pace, to which Poppy replied, "Dude, I'm already gone."
You got the same eyes as your father, and you carry the same kind of temper too. Oh, what a shame for the people of the community. Favourite things, fight and a lager. No better way to spin out a jar or two. He's a model citizen through and through, you know, but quite like your girlfriend. How the fuck she end up with you? You know we talk about all the dumb shit you do. In the back room of the bar, in the back seat of my car. I'm the ending, she's the star. Well now you need to calm down. What good's this energy? When you devote it to me, why not be a little more friendly? Now you need to calm down. Does she still think of me? Say my name in her sleep. I thought you knew her better than me. Don't give me that face. You know that the chase is through. And well, she's still running away from you. You got the same eyes as your father, and you carry the same kind of temper too. And she told me that she fucking hates you. Now you need to calm down. What good's this energy? When you devote it to me, why not be a little more friendly? Now you need to calm down. Does she still think of me? Say my name in her sleep. I thought you knew her better than me. I thought you knew her better than me. Well, now you need to calm down. What good's this energy? When you devote it to me, why not be a little more friendly? Now you need to calm down. What good's this energy? When you devote it to me, why not be a little more friendly? Now you need to calm down. Does she still think of me? Say my name in her sleep. I thought you knew her better than me.
Quarter of the way in, and JMazz, Mazmo and Gunner have all taken an early pit stop strategy, while Poppy remains in the lead, with SMC doggedly keeping pace with him just 2 seconds behind. Esky has worked his way up to 6th. He was third on the leaderboard, which earned him, JMazz and Darren their start at the back of the grid. Esky pits now for fuel, and Jezza takes 6th place. Next to pit is Darren in 9th. He's keen to give the mid-pack some space, so he can come out of the pits and clear air with a full tank of fuel. Post pit stop, JMazz is 12th place, Esky is 13th, and Darren exits the pits in 15th. Meanwhile, SMC has just set the race's fastest lap at 1:40.25 and has caught up with Poppy. But as they say in motor racing, catching is one thing, passing is another. Esky destroys his suspension, a good chunk of the concrete barrier outside of the aquarium, and is 9th placing, in a moment of lost concentration. Darren slips past him to 11th as we pass the halfway point. Mazmo does his best to hold Darren off along the back section of the circuit. Mazmo is a fantastic competitor and a long-time supporter of GTL. He is currently sitting 8th on the leaderboard, but it's only a matter of time before Darren finds a gap, and it's on turn 9 at East Seaside Way that he takes 10th place. But Mazmo is more focused on Chris, currently ahead of Mazmo in 7th place. Chris is only 3 points behind Mazmo and could easily overtake him on the leaderboard with a good finish here at Long Beach. Another driver who is finally finding his pace in the Ginettas is Norbs in 4th place. He's 7th overall on the leaderboard, but is running consistent 141s here, and he's keeping up with Box in 3rd. He is running a late pit strategy, hoping a quick splash and dash at the end will keep him up with the leaders. Not that the leaders are taking any notice. There hasn't been more than half a second between Poppy and SMC for over 10 laps now, and it might just come down to pit stops to finally separate them. Poppy's looser racing style is on full display. Meanwhile, Norbs is making his move on Box. closing the gap as we enter the final quarter of the race. OzGlenn is on pace in 5th, but is still yet to pit, with Tix in 6th and Chris in 7th. Something finally had to give to end the stalemate at the front, and with only 16 minutes to go, SMC pits for fuel, letting Poppy take his first breath since lap 4. The drivers on late pit strategies all begin to make their fuel stops, making some rapid changes to our leaderboard. This makes some drivers delay their pit stops even further and use the clear air to gain some precious time. Poppy pitted the lap after SMC and gambled on the barest minimum of fuel to get him out of the pits just ahead of SMC. Poppy's crew chief Jim said they just sprinkled some petrol on the windshield and all crossed their fingers. This is the break our early pit stop drivers have been waiting for. Darren takes 6th place and is finally in sight of the leaders. However, now it all comes down to simple maths. Did you calculate your fuel correctly for the pace that you've been setting? Some drivers are concerned. And as the clock runs down, it all turns into a crazy, desperate sprint for the finish. Tyres, fuel and racecraft be damned, everyone sees the red mist. Esky challenges Mazmo for 7th, in a battle that lasts several laps. But the Mazmo JMazz team strategist may have to check the batteries in their calculator, as both drivers are running critically short of fuel. But neither driver is going to go down without a fight. It's fitting that at the end of 7 weeks and 11 races should come down to being a bit punchy. Mazmo and Esky battle away, while Gunner and OzGlenn get tied up behind them, waiting for an opportunity. The best outcome for them would be an upset for one of the other drivers. And upset it does. Esky spins his way back to 11th place, and then Box makes a very rare mistake to give Norbs 3rd place. 2 laps to go and the pressure is starting to show. JMazz runs out of fuel along Shoreline Drive, Box and Darren slipping past while he coasts Ginetta as far as it can go. It's a disappointing end for JMazz. He's a competitive driver, but he takes it on the chin. Great drive, JMazz. And then it's Mazmo's turn. Gunner and OzGlenn slip past on the back straight for 7th and 8th position, while Mazmo finds a safe place to park up. Then it's the final lap, and with both Mazmo and JMazz on the sideline watching, Gunner and OzGlenn spend most of it side by side scrapping over what is now 6th place, and the tidy sum of points to finish the series with. But hardly surprising, Poppy and SMC decide to finish the same way they've spent most of the race, locked together with barely a checkered flag between them. A truly excellent drive from both of them, and a well-deserved win for Poppy. And Norbs leads the Australian racing sim enthusiast team home for his first podium of the series, followed closely by teammates Darren and Box, who's limping home on damaged suspension. Gunner leads OzGlenn through the last couple of corners to take 6th place. It was a rough start for Gunner, but he fought on and he's finished well, and OzGlenn kept him honest right until the very end. Esky leads Jezza over the line for 8th and 9th places, but there is still a great last lap battle from Tix and Chris for 10th. The last couple of corners are a series of undercuts, with all the finished drivers watching to see how it ends. Tix gives it everything, and good, close racing representing the whole Street Fighter series, but it's Chris who takes 10th place at Long Beach. And that wraps up the Street Fighter series. A huge congratulations to Darren, a great driver and sportsman. A well-deserved win in a challenging series. All drivers went into this league with a feeling of just how badly an entire street circuit series could go, but all drivers left having found some great battles and displaying some excellent racecraft. Poppy took second place thanks to his excellent Long Beach finish, JMazz was third overall, Esky took fourth and SMC came fifth. Thanks to everyone who was part of it. Darren, JMazz, Eskyman, Poppy, SMC, Boxhead, Gun 180, Norbs, Mazmo, Tripa, Woodsy, Chris, Tom, OzGlenn, Jezza, Reaper, Viperion, Sticky, BigRig, Tix, Magic, Adam, and Lethal. Thank you all very much for being part of Street Fighter.
You win. Perfect.